What if Marty McFly got stuck, not in the past, but in the future itself? A future where feelings are illegal, the past has been deleted, and Biff Tannen rules everything under the cold smile of a corporate god. Marty watches a little girl scream in terror while laughing, because the chip in her head tells her to. And when he finally finds Doc, the truth hits harder than the tasers. 1985 never existed. But what happens next will shake even those who thought they'd seen it all. So let's go back to where the future broke. When the DeLorean's wheels kissed the air above 2015 Hill Valley, Marty McFly grinned. The skyline was neon perfect, lined with solar highways, floating skate parks, and 80-foot holograms dancing on glass. Everything glistened with impossible cleanliness. He half expected Spielberg himself to yell, "Cut!" from a drone-mounted director chair. "Doc, you see this?" he shouted, sticking his head out of the gull-wing door. Silence. The passenger seat was empty. Marty blinked. Just minutes ago, they'd both left 1985. But now, the flux capacitor blinked red, then died. The DeLorean coughed out oily smoke and dropped 6 feet to the street below with a metal scream. A crowd of citizens in identical, sleek clothing parted like synchronized swimmers, not even looking at the car. Their eyes glowed faint blue from the implants in their temples. "Hey, anyone got a phone I could borrow?" Marty called. No answer. Then he realized no one was talking, not out loud. He wandered for hours. Every block was digital. Ads read his thoughts and changed mid-scroll. Trash bins followed pedestrians, humming like servants. In the sky, an ad balloon played a message on loop. "BiffNet, your voice, our power, one future." Marty laughed nervously. "BiffNet? Like Biff Tannen?" That's when he heard it. Doc's voice. Garbled, faint. "System breach detected. Marty, the future's wrong." Then static. And the DeLorean exploded. When the DeLorean's wheels kissed the air above Hill Valley, 2015, Marty McFly couldn't help but grin like a kid stepping into a comic book. The skyline was outrageous. Glowing walkways floated mid-air, solar highways wrapped around silver towers like vines, and massive 3D holograms of pop stars danced in mid-air with pixel-perfect grace. A drone whizzed past, projecting a rainbow-colored trail in its wake. Somewhere in the distance, a transparent monorail hissed along a track of light. Everything glistened. Too clean, too smooth, too quiet. "Doc, you see this?" Marty shouted, leaning out of the gull-wing door and scanning the shimmering world around them. "This is like Disneyland meets Blade Runner." Silence. He turned. The passenger seat was empty. Marty blinked, confused. "Doc?" Just seconds ago, they'd been together, arguing over the hoverboard, laughing at future fashions, and now, gone? The dashboard flickered red. The flux capacitor sputtered with a pathetic glow, then dimmed to black. The DeLorean coughed violently, released a puff of acrid black smoke, and without warning, dropped 6 feet straight down onto the pavement. The car landed hard with a mechanical scream, its undercarriage sparking against the smooth polymer street. The impact echoed, but no one screamed, no one even gasped. Instead, dozens of people in identical, sleek gray jumpsuits calmly stepped aside, parting around the smoking wreck like a murmurless tide. They didn't ask if he was okay. They didn't look surprised. Their eyes glowed faint blue, a small, pulsing light embedded at their temples like a second heartbeat. Marty scrambled out of the car, coughing, swatting away the smoke. "Hey, anybody got a phone I could borrow? Something with a screen? Anything?" No response, not even a glance. He stepped into the flow of pedestrians, waving his arms like a lunatic. "Hello? Anyone? I just crashed from the freaking sky." Nothing. He began to notice. No one was talking. Lips weren't moving. People stared ahead, eyes wide, faintly twitching as if reacting to something unseen. A kid passed by, laughing, but the laugh was hollow, artificial, like a sound effect on loop. Marty stood in the center of the street, surrounded by smiling zombies. Something was wrong. He wandered for what felt like hours through districts where buildings shifted color based on the weather, where vending machines scanned his face and told him he didn't qualify for nutritional rations, where walls displayed holograms that adjusted to his heartbeat. Each ad he passed morphed to match his thoughts: beachscapes when he felt anxious, flames when he cursed under his breath. He passed a public trash bin that detached from the sidewalk and followed a woman like a loyal dog. When she dropped her wrapper, it gobbled it up and beeped affectionately. Overhead, a massive advertising balloon floated between the towers. It blinked in hypnotic patterns. BiffNet, your voice, our power, one future. Marty stopped. He read it again. BiffNet? The name hit him like a slap. Biff Tannen? That Biff? He laughed nervously. Nah, couldn't be. No way that meathead could run a lemonade stand, let alone whatever this is. And then he heard it. Crackling, faint, like an old ham radio fighting through static. A voice. Doc's voice. System breach detected. Marty, the future's wrong. Marty froze. Doc? Where are you? Say it again! But all that followed was static. Then, with a violent boom that shook the street, the DeLorean exploded behind him in a burst of orange and blue fire, pieces of the time circuits flying like glass shrapnel. People still didn't scream. They simply stepped around the flames, blank-eyed, as a glowing service drone rolled in to contain the damage. Marty backed away, heart racing. The only real sound in this whole damn city was the pounding in his chest. He wasn't just stuck in the future. He was trapped in something far worse. Something built. And someone had made sure there was no way back. BiffNet wasn't just a company. It was the government, the healthcare system, the entertainment, the law. Everything was centralized under one directive: optimization. Children were born in clinics with pre-selected personality paths. Emotions were regulated through mood sync. Individuality was considered a malfunction. Marty was assigned a mentor, Sarah Unit 909. Her smile never broke. I understand you're from an unregistered dimension, she said. How exciting, but don't worry, we can fix that. All it takes is one little wire. Right here. She tapped his temple. Marty ran. They hunted him across glass alleys and drone-lit rooftops. He didn't make it far, but someone found him first. He awoke to jazz. Real jazz. Not a synthetic loop. A saxophone echoing in a concrete basement. Doc Emmett Brown sat beside him, older than ever, his hair now mostly gray, half his left side reinforced with rusted cybernetics. Great Scott. I was beginning to think you'd never show. Marty sat up. Doc, you're alive? Doc smirked. Alive-ish. This timeline wasn't meant to exist. But when I realized the DeLorean's quantum frame had ruptured mid-jump, I stayed, built a hideout, tried to reach you. Why didn't we go back? Why not fix it? Doc's smile faded. There is no back. They destroyed the past. Literally. Biff's regime erased the 20th century from all quantum strands. It's gone. Marty stood, fists clenched. So we're stuck? Doc nodded, but not helpless. In the cavern below them sat the remains of the DeLorean. I'm building a new one, Doc said. From scraps, old tech, and outlawed components. It'll be slower, riskier. But if we can charge it once, just once, we can jump beyond BiffNet's reach. Marty looked at the shattered time circuits. The flux capacitor was cracked. He whispered, It's impossible. Doc placed a hand on his shoulder. Impossible's just another setting on the dial, Marty. They had 5 days. That's when Marty's rehabilitation was scheduled. 5 days to steal a power core, escape the tracking grid, and activate the prototype. What they didn't know, what neither of them could have predicted, was that Sarah Unit 909 had started glitching, and she remembered being human. They ran through the ruins of Old Hill Valley, now buried beneath 15 layers of digital landfill. At their backs, pursuit drones. Ahead, the tower holding the only power source strong enough to launch the new time drive, the Chrono Core, hidden in BiffNet's citadel. Sarah Unit 909 led them through service tunnels, whispering codes that made doors obey. "I wasn't supposed to think," she told Marty as they climbed. "But I watched you fight. I felt wrong about what we are." Doc rigged the prototype in the elevator shaft. "It'll fry everything within a mile, but it'll work." Marty hesitated. "What if it kills us?" "Doc, what's the alternative? Living in a world that's already dead?" The doors exploded. Biff himself stepped in, his face projected across 30 drones. "You still don't get it, Marty. You don't belong anywhere. Not in 85, not here. You're just obsolete." Marty stepped forward, shaking. "You built a future where no one gets to choose, where feelings are bugs, where pain is scheduled. And yet," Biff smiled, "no war, no hunger, no dissent. I call that progress." Sarah turned. Her eyes flickered between blue and amber. She whispered, "I remember my name," and tackled Biff into the console. The surge gave Doc the window he needed. "Now, Marty!" Marty jumped into the half-finished time shell, wires wrapped around his arms. Doc pulled the lever, screaming. Light swallowed the world. He landed in a field, alone. No DeLorean, no Doc, just silence. He turned toward a billboard in the distance. It read, "Welcome to Hill Valley, a proud member of BiffNet since 1973. He fell to his knees. This wasn't the past or the future. This was something else. Somewhere, somewhen, Doc was gone. But the fight wasn't over, not yet.